station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station. Now time for the WTIM Pana Morning Show. It's brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. In studio this time, we have Tom Latonis of Latonis Train Village. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm great. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time, coming back with us today. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Let's just get started with your most upcoming event here. It's Halloween season around here, and you got big things going on over at Latonis Train Village.
Halloween extravaganza.
Love it.
Sunday from 3 to 8 p.m. and we'll have the train tower open. We've got a haunted train that runs on the model railroad tracks inside. Outside, we're decked out for Halloween. We'll have the caboose open for people to go through that. There's been a lot of work done on that recently. We'll have barrel train rides for the kids. The Pana Old Time Collectors Club has graciously allowed me to use that, so we'll have rides for the kids all afternoon long. Christmas, Halloween cookies from Kirk's Candies and Cakes. We'll have quite a bit of that. We've got candy for the kids, and then starting at 5 o'clock, we're going to serve hot dogs and chips free of charge. So ought to be a great afternoon. Yeah. Weather's supposed to be nice, so we're looking forward to it. This is the 4th annual event. So
this is awesome. I was just about to ask, is this something we like to do every year?
Yep. This is the fourth year in a row. So we had to kind of curtail it a little bit last year because we used to do it 2 days on the weekend, but we got rained out last year on 1 day. So, but anyway, so we're just gonna do it on Sunday.
Love it. Halloween extravaganza out at the Latonis Train Village. I love it. 3 to 8 p.m. this Sunday. Food, candy, everything. You mentioned you mentioned haunted train ride. You mentioned a couple different things right there. I want to get into haunted train ride. Bring us through this one. How is it decorated? Is it moving as you just walk through?
Well, it is. It's the barrel train, and I'm sure people have seen it at other events around Pana. But it gives the kids an opportunity to to ride around the property. It's not really that haunted. The kids aren't going to be scared or anything like that. Okay. And nobody's going to jump out, or anything like that. It's just going to be a nice little ride around the property there. And you can see all the things that we've got out on display. And then, like I say, we have it all decorated for Halloween. And we have a new pollinator garden also out there. Dave Nance has been working on that quite extensively this fall and summer. So we invite people to walk through there too. So and we've added an inflatable 15-foot long Halloween train.
Cool.
Just gonna probably sit on the tracks, static. Of course, no, you can't ride it, but it's something new, just something fun. So that's it's going to be quite an afternoon. We're hoping.
Yeah, lots to look forward to this Sunday at the Latonis Train Village. And I'm a little conflicted about the haunted train ride. Of course, it's for the kids. We don't want anything jumping out and scaring them. But you have an opportunity there to do something crazy for the adults. I mean, that could be that could get really scary. Yeah. Is the haunted train the same as the barrel train rides?
Yes. That's the same thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Awesome. Yep. And of course, coming in costume is very.
It's
very
encouraged. Wanted. Yeah. I'll be the conductor. So
easy.
Yeah, I'll be dressed as the conductor, and my nephew Ed, he runs the trains inside the tower. He'll be Engineer Floyd. If you remember the old Petticoat Junction TV series,
sure,
he'll be dressed up like that. But anyway, we just, like I say, just something that we put on for the community to kind of, invite people in, see the progress we've made. Yeah. Thank you to the people who've donated funds and have helped with the caboose restoration and the building restoration, and those people that have donated railroad memorabilia that we're going to be putting on display. So it's just a nice community day.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get into that caboose and building renovation restorations right there. Before we do, any place online we can go to find Latona's Train Village? And
Yes, Latona's Train Village. It's on Facebook,
Easy.
and all the information should be there. You can also see we've documented the work we've been doing inside the caboose. We pretty much completed the outside work last year. So this year we've been on the inside working, and you can see all the progress we've made there on our Facebook page.
That is awesome. Where does this caboose come from? What kind of locomotive are we talking about? And who spearheaded this? This is really great.
Well, for many years, my father-in-law actually owned the train tower for a number of years. Tom Phillips was the publisher of the Pana News Palladium, and being a historic building, we've got word that the Illinois Central was going to tear it down. So he didn't want to see that. And anyway, we did some inquiring and got into the real estate department of Illinois Central, and they sold him the railroad tower and the property around it. So he'd done some work to it and redid the windows, took out all the bricks where they had been bricked out, and had windows done, and had some roofing work, painting and stuff like that. And so years later, he was looking to liquidate his properties and stuff, and he was talking about selling the railroad tower. And I said, well, I'll buy it. So we made those arrangements, and I bought the tower. And like I say, the thing with getting the caboose there, all those years in between after he had bought it, we searched for a car, some kind of caboose. Well, then we thought, well, maybe we can get a coal car. Pana's rich history in coal. We thought that would look nice out in front. Well, lo and behold, about 3 years ago, a Pana native who had passed away, his widow lived in Fortville, Indiana, and he had purchased the caboose himself, and he had it out on his farm. Well, she was downsizing, and I got wind of that and called her. I went over to Fortville, which is just north of Indianapolis, and looked it over, and, well, what do you want for it? And she said they'd had a family meeting, and that they'd all decided that Dad's caboose belonged in his hometown, so you can have it.
Yeah.
So then came the task of raising $40,000 to move the caboose from Fortville to Pana, which is exactly 300 miles.
Wow.
So, but we got that done, and I was happy to say that my father-in-law actually got to see it before he passed away. He got to see the caboose be placed out there, and did my heart good. And like I say, it's just been a slow work in progress ever since then. So we're to the point now. It's almost a done deal, almost complete. So.
I love the story. I love the progression of it. It's quite a price tag on the transportation right there. I was wondering, when you found it, or when it was out on the property, this was just a caboose out on somene's property, not on the tracks.
It had a set of tracks. It was on a set of tracks.
Okay.
But just like it is now in Pana. But it was sitting on tracks, and we now have that set of tracks in Pana as well. But we laid new rail ties, bed, everything for the caboose specifically, and then that the added rails were still working. That's going to be probably the next project, is to kind of spruce that up so we can. I don't know, maybe someday we might get an engine or something. Who knows?
Sure. This caboose will be open to see at the upcoming Halloween extravaganza. Awesome.
Yes, it will.
And what can we expect? I mean, you mentioned there's going to be some history pieces in there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll put out some things that people have donated, like lanterns, or old railroad lanterns. But we also have a couple of, not really scary, but we have a couple of skeleton crewmates that are going to be seated inside. The seats have all been reupholstered. They're all pretty much brand new. The benches, the places where the crew would sleep, the Stove is not actually working yet, but that's going to be another project. But the stovepipe has been restored and it's all back together. And the cupola is going to be opened. So you can see up there where the conductors used to ride and watch the train and watch things up and down the tracks. And so, it'll be people will get to see what it was like, life inside a caboose.
Yeah. Wow. You'll get your chance to view that this Sunday at the Halloween Extravaganza, 3 to 8 p.m. out at the Latonis Train Village. We have Tom Latonis here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We got to take ourselves a little break, much more to talk about when we come back. Thanks so much to our sponsors here, our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Norin's Hardware, Your Pana Safe Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. We'll be right back here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all higher at this hour. December corn up 3 1/4, 4.12 3/4. March corn up 2, 4.25 1/4. May corn 4.32 1/2, up 2. November beans up 7 1/2, 9.88 1/2. January beans 9.97, up 7 1/4. March beans up 7 1/2, 10.09 1/2. December wheat up 1 1/2, 5.73 3/4. March wheat up 1 1/4, 5.93 1/2. December bean meal down 40 cents, 3.17.90. December bean oil up $1.05, 43.44. Livestock market, October feeders up 52 cents, 248.10. October live cattle up $0.50, 187.50. December lean hogs up 32 cents, 78.60. Energy market, November crude oil 71.78, up $1.22. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Attention hunters and gun owners, you must get to Locked and Loaded Sportsman Paradise in Pana. Take the short drive and shop Central Illinois' premier gun shop. Come see the huge inventory of firearms, ammo, hunting supplies, and accessories. In stock now, custom designed Locked and Loaded t-shirts and headgear. Brush up on your shooting skills at the indoor range featuring 7 shooting lanes. If it has to do with firearms or hunting, you'll find it at Locked and Loaded on Route 16 East in Pana. Locked and Loaded, open 6 days a week. Like them on Facebook.
I'm Jeff Grimmett, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Taylorville Junior High School Students of the Month on all of the WTIM platforms.
Hi, I'm Daisy Williamson, the 6th grade Student of the Month. My parents are Tara and Michael Williamson. The school subjects I enjoy are math, science, and social studies. This year at TJHS, I'm involved in volleyball, softball, basketball, speech contest, jazz band, and Tornadoes Together. After high school, I'm considering having my own restaurant as a career because I love baking with my sister and my mother. A fun fact I would like you to know about me is that I can crochet stuffed animals, beanies, bags, and so many others. I am also close to having my own business.
Congratulations to these students on this honor from People's Bank and Trust. We put people first every day at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Pastor Brian Moore here from Locust Grove Church near Assumption. We are alive and so worth the drive. Find directions to our church and watch our video podcast by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Agriculture is our largest industry. Your agriculture information station is WTIM, AM, FM, and online. Tune in or stream WTIM's over 8 hours a day of ag information featuring our local farm broadcaster to be in the know.
Your information station, WTIM.
And welcome back into the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Along with Pizza Man, Norin's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. In studio, we have Tom Latonis of Latonis Train Village. In that first half, we talked about the Halloween Extravaganza this Sunday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Out at that Latonis Train Village. It's going to be a great day out there. A lot of things planned for everyone attending. Tom, there was a big day for trains in town and for the nation. We got to see a marvel that day.
Exactly.
Please talk about that day.
When Big Boy came through Pana in the area, it was just
As advertised, I would say.
It is a big boy, over 1 million pounds. The engine and tender car, it was, and just to see this a steam engine of that caliber and that power come through. I mean, I've been to a space shuttle launch in Florida. But I tell you what, the ground shook almost as much from the, when that train came through Pana, and it was just, it was a magnificent sight. And the people and Nokomis, my goodness, the people turned out there. I don't know, 3,000, maybe 4,000 people were there. I mean, I do remember somebody put on Facebook, they were commenting about Big Boy and, about the engine's going to stop in Nokomis, and someone's comment was, Nokomis won't know what hit them.
Can't quite prepare for that influx of people on a random weekday like it happened.
But it was, I don't know, it was just, and especially if you're even if you're not a train buff,
right.
I mean, that had to send chills. If you were anywhere close to the tracks, and some people were too close, but if you were anywhere near those Union Pacific tracks, it just had to impress you.
Yeah.
And just and to think that was created in 1941. And first of all, it's a miracle it's still working today. I think it's the last working big boy that's left. I forget how many were made, but it's the last that's still working, actually running on the rails. But you just, with the technology we have today, how did they move those massive pieces around? How
many gallons in the whatever the steam
the boiler?
I
had heard that because they overnighted in Villa Grove.
Okay.
They were going from Villa Grove to St. Louis on the September 10th. And the story I heard was the Villa Grove Fire Department filled the boiler, and it took 54,000 gallons of water to fill the boiler. And I don't know if they had to refill at Nokomis or what. I never did actually hear, but it was. I just thought it was an exciting day. The mayor, Nathan Pastor, even proclaimed it Big Boy Day in Pana. So there was it generated a lot of excitement.
Yeah, that train whistle is something different too.
Isn't it?
I mean, you mentioned chills. That's when I got mine. It brought me back almost to those 1940 days. That's what you would hear when Big Boy would be coming down the tracks.
Exactly, especially in Pana when you had 4 railroads all working.
Sure.
And you had them carrying freight, you had them carrying coal out, going out of Pana and stuff. It just, like you say, it just sent chills down your spine.
What was the main mission for Big Boy back in the day? What was it made to pull?
It was made to pull freight across the mountains out west.
Okay.
And they needed something for the war. It was for the war effort, World War II. And materials would be moved like out to the West Coast, and Big Boy was the engine that provided that power.
You think about what kind of aid Big Boy brought back in the World War II. It was just such an important time for that marvel to be made and to move that type of equipment across the country. It's just so cool. Tom, we got about a minute 20 seconds left. Let's remind people of Halloween extravaganza coming up this weekend.
It's coming up Sunday, 3 to 8 p.m. Bring the kids. Come on out. We'll have free hot dogs and chips after 5, candy, cookies, punch, and barrel train rides, tours of the tower and the caboose. So please come out and see us.
It'll be a great day. And one more time, where we can find you on social medias.
You can find it, all the information at Latonis Train Village on Facebook.
Tom, we thank you for taking the time being back with us today.
You're welcome.
Tom Latonis of Latonis Train Village here on our WTIM Pana Morning Show. It's brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Norin's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. We've been live streaming this morning on Facebook at Taylorville Daily News and on YouTube at WTIM TV, sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. I'm your host, Tim Zalabag. Thank you all for tuning in this morning to WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298.